Hello. So, I have a bit of a story I see in front of me right now. But this is a very beautiful story. It is one of accountability and an unlocking of manifestations around understanding the perspective shift that was needed to really put you into your abundance. And I literally feel like this video is confirmation for the people who it's meant to find that you, I don't know, like this is a very pivotal point where you're at. Like you've either just taken a leap of faith or you're about to make a risky move. And from like here on out, or from, that risky moment, that risque kind of leap of faith moment, is going to be one of those things where you can look back and be like, okay, this specific time right here is when everything kind of really shifted and changed. Okay, so to start off with our little story here, we have somebody who didn't recognize their manifestations were failing or not coming through in the entirety that you were looking for them to, because there was a sense of emotional. Hello? I love how that went dark. Okay. Right, I was talking about that because it comes from a sense of emotional lack. Not feeling fulfilled and struggling to have true faith, like letting go and surrendering. This is someone I'm talking to who had control issues. And so your way of manifesting was almost like taking on a load or a burden that really would weigh on you because you had your eyes set on like this specific kind of way. Or it's almost like you would kind of create a plan, but you struggled with the flexibility that that plan truly required for you and your path to get to your dream state. And this is crazy because we kind of have like the 8 of Cups with the 9 of Cups, like right on the front. So it's like we are kind of walking away from trying to control the outcome of the dream into a space of surrender, because you were receiving your manifestations at the level you were at, which was one of emotional immaturity, emotional lack. So it's like your whole soul wasn't really manifesting because you weren't fully connected to your whole soul. You were still struggling with surrender. You were still struggling with faith. There was a lot that was really holding you back from this very freeing space. So we took some time and we worked out those kinks. We really went and did some mending, some repairing, some approach, and then rebuilding, getting the structure back in frame, right? It almost kind of gives me this analogy of like, all right, we rewired the nervous system. We brought her back to ground zero. We kind of looked at, all the wear and tear. We assessed all the damage, and then we assessed what steps were needed to heal it, to bring it back to either, I don't even want to say like taking it back to what it was before, but like creating it into something anew, something that can take the experiences and the scars with it, but be stronger nonetheless, right? So we've been through this phase, all right? We recognized, okay, we have control issues. That's why nothing's really working out the way we want it to, because it's through this one way that we're perceiving because it's what makes us comfortable versus what is being asked of us is surrender. So it's like, okay, we've wrestled with that, all right? We see where that lack of faith, that lack of surrender came from, and it comes in deep wounds. It seems like it came from a real deep space that we had to get into and kind of, flatten out all the nicks and whatever the fuck, all the, right? Whatever. To build this really good foundation to work upon, to build upon. Yes? Right? We go from the 8 and 3 of coins to the 4. So it's like, all right, we got back to the bare basics. We scaled it out. Sorry, we evened it out. We evened out the scale here. So why I loved this is because we now have the Ten of Cups. So we've been having some growing, like at like the 3 of coins to the 4 of coins, and then we had the 8 of cups followed by the 9 of cups right behind it. So I just love that. I just think that's very interesting. Like, we're kind of working up in all of these little ways. So then we end off with the Ace of Swords, the 10 of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Ace of Swords. So what you're stepping into is a brand new chapter where you have surrendered to the truth. You've surrendered to the passion, and you've surrendered to your heart, to your soul, to your character. And because of this, you have a really beautiful connection with your higher self. You have a very beautiful connection with Source. It just started raining really hard outside. And it's leading you to exactly what it is your Ten of Cups is, your emotional fulfillment. So anything you manifest from here on out comes from this space of open heart, open mind, open soul. So you're walking directly towards your abundance. Like, you're literally being guided to the right spaces and places that are waiting for you, because you finally unlocked who you are. You know and remember who you are. You're not falling for the external validation, karmic cycles. And there's a lot of different ones like that. Like, you genuinely know who you are, know what you're looking for, and you know how you're going to get there. And that doesn't mean you have this laid out strategic plan. It means you have an idea and you just put it to action. You don't sit back and make an entire plan. You don't sit there and try to guess around every corner. You just go, well, this is my next step. My very next step I need to take in this direction is this right here. So I'm going to take this step, see what happens in this step, in this direction, on this new level. All right, we're going to adjust and see what's up. And then from there, I'm going to take another step. So it's like you kind of went from trying to face things head on, like take the big, like look at it like the big picture all at once and just walk at the big picture. You started kind of going, okay, well, here's one puzzle piece. So it's got this purple and this blue. So I need to look for purple and blue so that I can find things that may match with it. Okay, now I'm going to put this together. All right, so I'm getting part of the piece, but I'm still headed in the right direction. Like, you have really broken things down on a more simplistic level to allow whatever was holding you back out of fear or anxiety to kind of keep you in this controlling, to keep you out of this controlling narrative. You started noting when your subconscious fears would elicit certain responses, and then you address them. And now that you've done the intentional work, you're about to experience exactly why it is we fucking do the maturing work. Why it is we connect with ourselves. Why it is we choose to invest and to know and to nurture and take care of the self. Because then you get to experience the freedom and be so curious about this world and what's in it and how you apply in the equation and how you can utilize with the elements and the resources and the tools around you. You start having fun. You're gonna start having so much fun. And you were always meant to have this fun. You just had to believe it. You had to shift this perspective so that you could allow yourself to be free and have a good time. So enjoy this, baby. It's on the way. Okay? Live it the fuck up. You've done a lot of work. You deserve it. And you know you do. All right, I love you. Have a good night.